All right, guys. Today we are gonna be reacting to Gavin Newsom get rejected by California in shocking election upset. This is one, the guy has some good analysis. Let's jump in and see what's going on.
We have multiple pressing stories to get to. Stories that include the decision desk now calling all remaining swing states. Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. The race for president is now over. CNN, MSNBC, they can delay as long as they want, but Decision Desk HQ has called it. Also, major change coming to California as the votes continue to be counted in the Golden State. It's becoming clear, though, that voters have rejected Gavin Newsom and their uber progressive government, ousting the radical district attorneys that were put in there years ago by the Soros family, and substantial victories across the state for Republicans. Also, just one day after being elected, Donald Trump is getting down to business, already announcing his first cabinet picks, reportedly making steps to end the Ukraine war, and already solving the invasion at our southern border. Wait till you hear about this. And Democrats and the establishment Republicans are losing their freaking minds. We have the details and more stories from around the country. But before we get started, thank you for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps out the channel. And consider subscribing so you don't miss these regular updates. So finally, after 3 full days, Decision Desk HQ has called the remaining states. Look at this, 312 electoral votes for Donald Trump to Harris's 226. And look at the popular vote now. Look at the split since yesterday. Trump won by more than 5 million votes. What this means is Donald Trump is the most popular president and politician we've seen in modern political history, at least since Reagan. And if we zoom in on the
Twice.
blue bastion of California,
There you
something
go.
you're not hearing much about is the epic spanking that California Governor Gavin Newsom received on Tuesday night. So, look, I'll be honest right off the bat, I have a soft spot for California. I have a bias. I've spent a lot of time in California, living in NorCal for a while, in Humboldt County, Del Norte County, some of the most amazing country you'll see. Wild country up there in Northern California. I personally love it. The Lost Coast, the Redwoods, Sierra Nevadas, national forest after national forest. If you like that kind of thing, that's the place for you. It's jaw-droppingly beautiful, but even with all of that beauty and all the benefits that go along with it, I mean, I still won't live there full time. I won't buy property there. I've wanted to, but I've resisted. California is the definition of big government run amok. It's awful. You know this. It's why people are
That is so sad, man. Right? From Ronald Reagan being a Republican, but I think so. I think J.D. Vance was saying that because the amnesty program that Ronald Reagan dropped, it made California a one-party state. And it's interesting that the Supreme Court hasn't really decided on regarding the illegal immigration. It's just a weak stance. It's so obvious. If you're illegal here in the United States, you do not have the same rights as a legal citizen. But somehow we just allow these people come in, their kids just born, and they're just legal. Does that make sense? So overpopulation. So that means that the prices of the houses goes up. Taxes goes up. So you get to a point where it makes no sense. Almost like the state is going to take over. If we don't do something by 2030, the entire state might collapse and transform into a communist utopia. Imagine a communist utopia inside the United States, huh?
fleeing the state, been fleeing the state, the government sticking their nose into everything you do, treating you like a child, like they own you. You can't even buy flavored vapes there anymore or flavored Zins. Want coffee flavored Zins? Sorry. Drive 2 hours to the reservation. You want to buy these? You can't. It's insanity. Well, after years of this nonsense, the people of California appear to have had enough. Watch this.
Hear about this? Los Angeles has voted to oust far-left DA George Gascon, electing Nathan Hochman with 61% of the vote.
California also passed Prop 36, making shoplifting and theft a
There we
felony
go.
for repeat offenders.
And this is, I will tell you something about this. I just want you to hear something. Let's go back to the Constitution, right? Let's go back. Now, you can argue that the Fourth Amendment, right, of the Constitution secure against the unreasonable searches and seizure and referred to often in popular culture as a privacy right. But the way it protects privacy by the security of private property, right? By the laws of California, where, you know, some of these people can just literally go to a Walgreens and just start stealing, but because it's under $1,000, they're not gonna prosecute them. I think personally, that's a violation of the Fourth and the Fifth Amendment. So that means that the police of California is violating the rights of the Fourth Amendment and is running a state unconstitutionally. So that means that any citizen of California can just sue the entire state of California and the cities of California. Why is that? Because of with the Fourth Amendment, there's no protection of private property. None. So they allow criminals to just literally steal. On top of that, the government incentivizing that by doing what? Putting a cap. So I'm wondering why in the hell these things just move without even questioning that we might be doing a constitutional, we might be enforcing unconstitutional laws. And it's so simple. You know what is crazy about this, folks? And it happens. You know, there's First Amendment auditors, right? They go to the UPS in certain areas, and they just muscle their rights, right? And can you believe some police, the majority, I will say, they cannot distinguish between public and private properties? So I'm not surprised if a lot of these states from the West Coast, they have no idea what's going on. And they think because the state legislative passed a law, therefore I need to follow it. No, if it is not constitutionally, you're not supposed to be. You, as a police, you always follow the federal constitution instead of the state constitution. New Mexico did it. When the governor wanted to just buy back the guns for a couple of days, they said, no, it's unconstitutional. But why do you think California's not doing it? I don't know. I'm just trying to make sense of this.
Facing penalties on drug charges.
Joining us right now is the winner, Los Angeles County District Attorney-elect Nathan Hochman. Nathan, America is glad you won. What is the message we get from your overwhelming election? We should get from it.
So the message is that the voters of LA County rejected extreme pro-criminal policies. Gascon had, the current DA, Gascon, had brought in about 4 years ago, where he said that certain crimes and certain criminals will not be prosecuted, notwithstanding the facts of the law. And I rejected those decarceration policies. I also rejected the mass incarceration policies. And I came down in the middle, and I called the hard work middle, because you got to do the work to make sure that each individual case is being considered individually.
Now look, the votes are still being counted there. California, they take weeks to count the votes. It's a real problem, but we do know that Californians have voted yes on Prop 36, the proposition to end decriminalization for theft and drug crimes. You know how you've been able to just steal whatever you want under $1,000 and get away with it? Well, that is over, folks. 70% of Californians voted yes to end that nonsense. And think about that. Prop 36 was one of those policies that Kamala Harris refused.
How in the hell you vote to elect a Kamala Harris with 70%? You have to be dumb as a rock, man. Americans are dumb, man. We're dumb as a rock, man. We're dumb, bro. We're so dumb, man. We vote to eliminate this, but we don't vote out the party to initiate this. Insane.
To talk about on the campaign trail. Scared to take a position on it either way. Meanwhile, 70% of Californians supported it. A common sense policy. Who wouldn't?
How did you vote on Prop 36? So my ballot is on its way to California, and I'm going to trust the system that it will arrive there. And I am not going to talk about the vote on that because, honestly, it's the Sunday before the election, and I don't.
What a stupid answer. What a stupid answer, man. She voted yes to eliminate the 70%. She was part of the 70%. She doesn't wanna say no or yes because she don't wanna. She basically doesn't want her radicals to start going crazy and lose support because she knows that one sector of her voting base was radical lefty communist. That's what it is, folks.
Intend to create
I'm glad she
an
lost,
endorsement
man.
one way or another around it. So, but I did vote.
In another story, the Biden DOJ announced they are dropping all Trump's criminal charges, saying his cases are going away. They've begun to unwind them, telling NBC News yesterday they have begun the process of unwinding the 2 federal criminal cases against President-elect Trump before he takes office to comply with the long-standing department policy that a sitting president can't be prosecuted, and good riddance. But if you think this ends all the witch hunts and illegal lawfare that we've witnessed, think again. Wouldn't it be nice, though, if it did? Well, in response to the DOJ saying this and the spanking that Trump just gave Kamala Harris, depressed Democrats are starting to lose their...
Yeah, that's more of that. I'm gonna leave the link in the description down below. I think here.
Quote, the freedoms we hold dear in California are under attack, and we won't sit idle.
Ugh.
He's calling for a special
What a
legislative session to safeguard liberal California policies. The state's attorney general also warned of a second Trump term.
You can be sure that as California Attorney General, if Trump attacks your rights, I'll be there. If Trump comes after your freedoms, I'll be there.
Yeah,
if
right.
Trump jeopardizes your safety and your well-being.
I got you. See, San Francisco, bro. One of the most beautiful cities in the union. And this guy's telling you that he's gonna protect you while his own street are filled with vacate, homeless, and all that stuff. This is how hypocrites, man. These people are, man.
I'll be there.
Fox News contributor and civil rights attorney Leo
Come on.
joins us now.
Come
So,
on, Leo.
You got violent criminals all over the state. Attacking people, stealing people's personal property, because they passed a law that said you can steal under $1,000 without the police showing up to the scene.
Yeah.
I never remember the attorney general banging on the table saying he's going to be there for them.
Lawrence, did you hear what he said? He said nothing, just word salad.
Yeah.
And what you have is you have Governor Newsom, who is a lame duck governor, trying to become relevant. It's a lame duck idea. They're going to have a legislative session in December to stop President Trump. Trump doesn't take office until January. And here's the point that's amazing. They can't stop Trump from removing illegal immigrants out of California. They cannot stop ICE from arresting illegal immigrants who
That
have
was
committed
decided
crimes.
already.
They can't do any of that. They're just talking. They're trying to
It was decided when the federal government was going against Texas. That's decided. And the federal government, I'm sorry, the Supreme Court sided with the federal government. That means that now that Trump is going to be in office, you cannot tell me the federal government doesn't have the power to just import these people. You can't. You simply can't. You simply can't. Now you want to pay the double standard. Ain't going to happen. We're going to go to New York and we're going to go to California. We're going to go to all these places. Even Washington State, Oregon, a lot of these places that are filled with weird stuff. Also Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. And they drop a lot of illegals here in Wisconsin. Man. Ooh, I'm telling you, bro. Even some of them even took jobs from some locals, man. I'm telling you, I was in a waiting list for Amazon packages. Bro, I'm just picking up packages at 3 in the morning, and they never hire me. But all of a sudden, I'm just picking packages at 2 and 3 in the morning. Illegals. They gave jobs to illegals. Guys that can't even speak English, folks. Guys cannot even speak English, and these people are delivering packages. How? You need a social security. Even if you need a green card, you need to know some kind of English. The guys didn't even know anything. There were multiple of them.
Relevant. And one point, Prop 36, a bill to increase penalties for shoplifting, passed by 70%. Gavin Newsom was opposed to that bill. These Democrats are in denial, Lawrence. They don't listen to the average American voter. Trump does, they don't.
Well, it's also a little delusion. I mean, let's just pop up this map of California. I've never seen California with so much red. I mean, and you just compare it to 2020, you would think there would be some like self-reflection and say, hey, maybe we need to change some things, or we may flip it to being a Republican state.
I'll tell you what the problem is. The Democrats don't want to tell the truth. Donald Trump's message resonates with the average voter. That graphic earlier today on the show proves it all. Democrats is the party of the elite, the rich. Most working class Americans support the Trump policies. And what you saw on that map, Lawrence, was California, a deep, deep blue state, becoming a purple state because of one person, Donald J. Trump. That map is a wake-up call for Democrats. But the problem is they're asleep. They're in denial.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're too busy calling everything racist and misogynist. Every single group of people increase their turnout when it comes to Donald Trump. I think at some point you have to say, look, our policies are failing people, and if you want them back, maybe respond to those issues. Leo, thanks so much for getting up this morning.
My pleasure. Anytime for you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart.
Let me know what you guys think. I will see you in the next one.